The last thing before we go tonight, spare me. Republican Senator Josh Hawley of Missouri is currently carrying out a blanket blockade of all nominations of senior Defense Department officials. Why? Because he wants the Biden administration to admit that on virtually every aspect of foreign policy, they've been dead wrong. And he wants to see high-level resignations. That obviously has no chance of happening. So as a result, important Defense Department officials are going to have to remain unfilled. After Hawley's latest objection of Christopher Lohman, Biden's choice for Assistant Secretary for Sustainment, Senator Brian Schatz from Hawaii went off.
He is blocking the staffing of the senior leadership at the Department of Defense. And this comes from a guy who raised his fist in solidarity with the insurrectionists. And this comes from a guy who, before the Russian invasion, suggested that maybe it would be wise for Zelensky to make a few concessions about Ukraine and their willingness to join NATO. This comes from a guy who just about a month ago voted against Ukraine aid. He's saying it's going too slow. He voted no. And this final insult is that until, Secretary Austin resigns? That's not a serious request. People used to come to me during the Trump administration all the time. Do you think Trump should resign? Do you think Tillerson should resign? That's a stupid, of course, I think all the people I disagree with should quit their jobs and be replaced with people I love. Of course, I think they should all resign. That's not how this world works. And coming from a person who exonerated Donald Trump for extorting Zelensky for withholding lethal aid. They withheld lethal aid unless Zelensky would release false smears against Joe Biden's son. And then he voted to exonerate President Trump for this. And so spare me the new solidarity with the Ukrainians and with the free world, because this man's record is exactly the opposite. I yield the floor.